Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a module inside Moodle called H5P, which allows you to make many different interactive tools. But for us, we're going to focus on making interactive videos probably over the next couple of presentations on YouTube here. It's going to take some time to really iron this out. So having said that, why don't we go ahead and go over to Moodle so I can try to explain things to you a little bit better. So I'm inside Moodle, I'm inside one of my classes, and I want to add the H5P activity that focuses particularly on interactive videos. So to do that, I'm going to click on Add an Activity or Resource. Now, one thing that I need to mention is, I believe since Moodle 3.8 or later, H5P, that particular module, is standard issue with Moodle. In other words, you don't have to try to download it and add it to your Moodle website. When you install Moodle at your institution or on your server, it'll already be a part of it. So if you can see right here, I click on H5P and I click Add. And so here it's thinking, and so we have the editor right here. And so what do we want? We want interactive video. And you can see right here is clearly the first thing you see right here. So I click on this, and so now I have the editor for the interactive video. Now again, there are lots of other activities, but we're focusing on the interactive video for now. But you can also make, quizzes and different image things and power and like interactive slides, speech recognition stuff. It's pretty extensive. But for our purposes, we're focusing on the interactive video. Now, one thing you'll notice is that this is kind of small and hard to read. So to make it a little bit easier, if you click on this little diagonal arrow here that points into the upper right hand corner here, it'll make it nice and large for you. Okay, now that's much easier to work with. So of course we have to give our activity a name. I'm going to call mine example. And so the next thing it wants to do is it wants to ask you have two choices. You can add a file or you can add a YouTube video. Now again, I'm not familiar with the policies at your particular institution, but they're probably going to want you to add a YouTube link rather than upload the file, because if people start uploading a lot of files, it's going to really clog up the server. However, every institution has its own rules, and there may be security reasons why they may want you to upload the video directly to the server. For our purposes, we're going to go to YouTube and find a video. So just click here, go to YouTube, and whatever we find first for the sake of time. Okay. How about this one? We don't want to hear it right now. And we're just going to take the link. That's our goal here. So copy the video URL. We're done with that. And so I'm going to put this right here and insert. Okay, so you can see now that the YouTube video is there. If you really want to, you can edit the copyright for legal reasons. The next tab down here is the interactive video. You can change the name of the video if you really want to. I mean, it's up to you. This is what's used in, like, for example, one thing I'm not going to show you today, but there's a lot of summary statistics that you can, get information about to check how your students are watching the videos. And so you might want to have specific names for each video, whatever you want. You can also give it a description. You can add an image of it if you really want. Again, a lot of this stuff is not necessary. There's even an opportunity to add subtitles, but you cannot do that with YouTube videos. So you can see that the sky's the limit. Now these two tabs at the bottom, behavioral settings and text override, these are available on every single page that we're going to click on. But just so you can see, you can tell H5P at what part to start the video. At 1 minute or at 1 minute 30 seconds, whatever. They can have a retry. So if the students get some answers wrong, if they can retry it or not. Show the answer when you start putting questions into the actual videos. Should they see the answer or not? You can see that it's endless, but most of these are pretty self-explanatory. Now this out here at the bottom, text override and translation. If you're in a place that does not use the English language, or in particular the English alphabet, you can change the names of the commands, like the play button. You can put that in the Japanese language using Japanese letters or Chinese letters, whatever you want. All these things can be done if you need to do these things. But I'm focused obviously on English speakers here because my video's in English, so I'm not going to worry about these too much. Now, you can see that we've just completed step 1. We uploaded our video. Now we're going to go to step 2, add interactions, and this is where we're probably going to stop at for today, because we're going to go through a few of these labels. You can see here at the top, There's about 15 labels going across the top. There's no way we can get through all of these in one video. We're going to try to do about maybe 4 of them today. We'll see how the time permits. And again, notice how at the bottom we still have behavioral settings and text override. These 2 guys at the bottom, they tag along through each step. So why don't we go ahead and look at the first one. The first one is a label. If for whatever reason you want to put a label at a particular point. And so here at the top, let me see if I can make this bigger for you. You see we have something called display time. So this is telling H5P when to show the label, and then of course over here when to end the label. So right now it's going to start at the beginning of the video and it's going to last for 10 seconds. And you can choose whether or not you want it to pause the video. And then also you can see right here that we have this little text that we put here. Right now it's Latin. We'll just leave that the way it is for the sake of time. And then if you look down here, you probably can't see this. Probably not. Okay.
Welcome back to not.
Gonna mute this for the sake of simplicity. Close that. And so you can see that at the beginning, right here, you can clearly see our text right here. So if you have something to share with the students, something to talk about, whatever, if you want to edit it, just click on it like this, and then you can move it around if you desire. Other things you can do is you can edit it, whatever you want. It's not that complicated. For our sake, I'm going to remove it. Click OK, and we're going to move to our next little thing here. Next one is text. So again, you have 2 choices here. You can make it a button where the student has to click on it, and you can probably see that, or it could be a poster. Generally, I prefer poster, so I'm going to choose poster. That means it just makes a little box that goes on the screen. And so I'm going to say example text here in the text box. Notice the red star here. You have to put information there. And so then we got visuals. This is not that important. You can change the background color if you're really, bored like that. Hey, why not? Purple. You can make a box shadow. And then you can also even put in links where it will jump to something else. So you can say, let's say you start this little text as say 10 seconds in, and they can click on the time code and they could jump to like say 1 minute if you want. Again, this is kind of more advanced, or you could even have it jump to another URL somewhere. Again, advanced stuff here. All right, so we're going to click OK, and you can see my example text right here. And if I want to block out the whole screen, because if you're familiar with how interactive videos work on other websites like Coursera, normally they block out the whole screen, so you have to put it like this and stretch it across, and you can see nice and beautiful, almost a little bit more here. Okay, done, just like that. Now you probably can't see this on my browser, but if you look really closely, you got really good eyes, you'll see a little tiny really tiny white dot here, and that is telling me that there's some sort of interaction right there. And so, if we play this, eventually you can see how it blocks it like that. All right, so I'm going to delete this. Let's do 2 more and we'll wrap up this video. Next is table. So the table, again, you have the choice between the button and the poster. I prefer poster because it always works. Button is kind of mysterious for me at times. And then you can give the table a name. For now, we're going to leave it untitled. And you can see that we have headings and columns here. So if you have information you want to display in a table-like format, which sometimes may be appropriate, again, based on the type of video that you're having your students watch, you might want to put some information in there. And then, of course, you have your visuals. You can change the background color. We already had fun with that. So here's our table. And again, this is standard for many websites, not that deep. But remember that you got to put your information inside when you want to edit. Okay, so we did 1, 2, 3. Okay, last one for today is link. I don't think this is too complicated. Again, what happens is that it'll display a link that the students can go to. You could pause the video during that time. So I'm going to put www. Let's see here. Just put Facebook. No, I'll put YouTube. Put YouTube. Okay. So that's supposed to go here. Made a mistake there. Let's see if it works. Insert. And you can see we have the link right here. If you click on it. Okay, obviously it's not going to work for me because I'm the teacher. I have to be a student for it to work. But you can see here the student can then click on this and it'll take them to YouTube if you desire. And of course, I called it youtube.com. I could have changed the name to something else. I could have said, go to YouTube, not YouTube, YouTube, okay. All right, like that. And then this will display for 10 seconds because I told it to display from second 2 to second 12. And so that's probably all we're going to do in this video. We don't want these to get too long. So in this particular video, we learned a little bit about the H5P interactive video activity inside Moodle. And so we learned about how to upload a video. You have two choices. You can upload your video like literally from your computer or hard drive up there, which is probably not what you're going to want to do, but it depends. We also learned how to take links from YouTube and put those inside, which is what we did here. And then we talked about some of the various choices. You can give the video a specific name if you want. This is for statistical reasons when I show you the results that you'll get from your students in a future video. You can put in images, you can have subtitles if you upload an actual video to the server, and there's some behavioral settings down at the bottom that you may want to play with. After that, I showed you the first 4 interactions. We learned about how to make a label, how to put in text, tables, and a link. And so that's kind of where we left off for today. So as we go forward, we're going to look at maybe 4 or 5 more in the next video. Images, statements, single choice, multiple choice, and perhaps even true and false questions. And we'll try to wrap this up hopefully in 3 videos. So I hope that this video was useful for you today and that you were able to begin your journey on this. A lot of these tools are self-explanatory, but for those of us who struggle with technology, this is for you. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Take care.